Heck of a lap there, Max. How pleased with you with the efforts in that session?
Pleased with the efforts. Just I think the final lap was not perfect, but it was good enough for pole. So that's of course what matters. But it's quite tricky around here to nail the lap. There are a lot of corners where things can go wrong. But I think the whole morning, session basically, we were on top of things. So I think that's positive.
How much did you learn overnight about just how the car felt yesterday and where maybe it wasn't feeling as good or as to your liking as you'd like?
Yeah, but I mean the problem with this beautiful format is that you can't really change anything on the car. So. Once you commit to something, you're stuck with it for the rest of the weekend. So that's not ideal, but we tried to optimize everything we could, what we can control a little bit, and I think it was a little bit better today than yesterday.
How much of a threat do you think the rest of the teams are going to be for you in the fight today and in the Grand Prix tomorrow?
It's all very tight. A lot of different cars are very, very quick. It's all going to depend on how you can keep your tires alive, I think, in the race. So that's going to be key also today because, of course, it's called a sprint race, but it's not really a sprint. You're still saving tires, especially on tracks where, the wear is quite high, which is here. So it's going to be quite interesting, I think.
All right, Charles, after yesterday's qualifying session and today's shootout, takeaways, what can you say and what was the true difference for you in the car?
The car was exactly the same as yesterday, just the conditions changed and we had to adapt very quickly to these new conditions, but all in all I think it was a positive qualifying. Of course it's disappointing to not be on pole for today's race, but second place is not that bad on this track and I'll do everything to try and pass Max into turn one.
You talk about second place not being too bad here. Mm-hmm. Why is this track suitable for someone who's in a second place position?
I don't really know. The grip on the second place looks to be quite good looking at the past years. So I really hope it didn't change for this year. And that, actually, I don't know if I hope because tomorrow I'm starting on pole. So I hope today we don't get past Max and tomorrow we can have a clean win.
Speaking of Max, what was it that he had on you? What was that little edge today?
He's always been very strong. Yesterday also he used a bit too much track and it was that close that I think it was good to be on pole. Today he had a bit more pace all throughout qualifying. But all in all, we are quite close and it's enough to try and fight him in the race, even though we know that the Red Bulls, their biggest strength is the race pace. So I'm pretty sure we'll be a bit more on the back foot during the race compared to them.
Hey Lewis, hey. Such fine margins out there. You must be loving the tension, the competition out there, even if you didn't quite get pole today.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit closer than yesterday. So we did make an improvement, but it was definitely a tough session, particularly on the mediums. But for us to be this close in Austin just shows that we are progressing as a team, and we can really take that as a real positive. And I think we just got to, hopefully today we're in a good position in both races to apply some pressure to the leaders.
Is that from what you learned last night? Do you think you'll be in the mix to go after the Ferraris and the McLarens and the Red Bulls and really go for it in the race?
It's all very close, so we'll wait and see. But I'm hoping I can hold on to him.
Checo, as you kind of take a reflective look back at that qualifying, how would you summarize it for you?
Yeah, as always, it's very hectic, getting through with single sets, not knowing if you have the margin or not, how much track you're going to have through the session. Unfortunately, we end up using more the tire than we but I think in the final shot in Q3, just getting a single shot on the soft tire, it makes it very tricky. But yeah, I think we managed to get the maximum out of what we have, with the limitations we currently have. So looking forward now to the sprint race.
You talk about those few things you learned. What else can you kind of take away that you're going to really understand now going into the
I think it will be interesting to understand where we really are in long run. I think that will be the main objective for us to figure out where we are.
And the confidence in the car right now?
Yeah, it was changing with the wind condition, so limitations are changing in there, but just looking forward in general.